The film begins in 1862 in a village. A nurse arrives from the city and she was summoned by the village committee. Upon arrival, the committee informs her about a girl named Anna who has not eaten for many months. Her family says that she is alive even without eating, and it has been 3 to 4 months. That means she had not eaten anything for so long. Now the committee wanted to find out whether Anna eats or not, or if is it really a magic or a miracle. So to find out about all this, the committee called a nun and a nurse here. The nun, means the sister, had to find out whether all this is really because of God. Now a man takes the nurse to Anna's house. Anna's house was in a separate, desolate place far from the village where people often used to come to see Anna. I mean, it was a shocking thing for everyone. That a girl who has not eaten anything for so long is absolutely fine. The nurse was also surprised to see Anna because Anna looked absolutely fit. Anna's family had her mom, dad and a brother, but her brother had died. And to find out about this, the nurse goes to the graveyard where she found her brother's grave. The nun and the nurse both decide that the nurse will give 8 hours of duty and the nun 8 hours. Because after 14 days, they had to report to the committee whether Anna eats or not. And for this work, they were called here. When the nurse kept an eye on Anna, she didn't sleep at all, but despite that, she didn't know who feeds Anna. But the nurse was sure that there is someone who secretly feeds her because she knew there was no magic. She had studied science. She knew that no matter what happens, a person cannot live without eating and drinking. The nurse also searches her entire room, but she doesn't get food from anywhere. She also talks to Anna's mom, with which she discovers that Anna's mom is sad about her son's death, but Anna's family had faith in many things. I mean, hell, heaven, soul and all these things. One day the nurse takes Anna for a walk with her. She makes her walk a lot. She was testing that maybe after walking so much, she might get hungry, but nothing like that happens. Anna just drinks a water little bit. Meanwhile, people were also coming to meet her. They were also taking pictures of her. Obviously, this was a surprising thing for everyone, that how is a person alive without eating? One day a journalist comes to meet the nurse who had come here to get some news. Her name was Will, but she didn't know much about the nurse. Meanwhile, the nurse was also checking Anna, means she was feeling that everything in Anna was absolutely fit. The nurse thinks that Anna doesn't eat anything in the day, but her mom and dad often come to meet her at night. She thinks it is possible that her parents secretly feed her. Now the nurse also tells Anna's parents that no one can meet Anna for 2 weeks. They can see Anna from a distance if they want, but no one will come near Anna. Anna's mom was angry that the nurse is keeping her away from her daughter, but the nurse doesn't care about this. When the nurse had kept Anna's family away from her, after a few days the nurse notices that Anna has a broken tooth. Anna was in a lot of pain because of the broken tooth, but still the nurse does not tell this to her family. Outside, the nurse meets a lady, and asks her about Will, who was still after her and wanted to talk to her. The lady tells that Will used to live in this village, but when he had to study, he went to the city from the village. But when he was not in this village, the situation in the village got worse. There was nothing to eat and drink, and his family also died because of this, but his family had decided that they would not tell anyone about this. They locked themselves in their own house and died of hunger. After hearing all of this, the nurse's heart melted a little. That's why she now decides to meet Will. When she meets Will, he says that if I meet Anna, I will definitely find out how Anna is getting food. Because Will also felt that someone was secretly giving food to Anna. But Anna used to tell everyone that she does not need to eat food and she gets food from heaven. She is alive on this food. One day, on the pretext of going on a walk, the nurse makes Anna meet Will, but he also could not find out much. Now slowly the nurse sees that Anna's condition was getting worse. The nurse also calls the doctor here, who was the doctor of the committee here. He tells the nurse that you do not need to go too deep, you have been called here only to find out whether Anna eats food or not, and you do not have to know anything, and the doctor does not help her. Now the nurse is furious about this, Anna's condition was getting worse there. The nurse forcibly tries to give Anna soup and puts the pipe in her mouth, but Anna does not drink that either. She says that you cannot force me. That's why the nurse says sorry to her. Once again, when the nurse takes Anna out for a walk, Will was also with them. Anna takes them to a well and says that this is a holy well. There was also a tree next to it and people had tied threads on its branches, but Anna fainted near this well. She was also having trouble breathing. The nurse understood that if this continues Anna will die soon. One day when the nurse was having breakfast, then suddenly a thought comes to her mind. And she quickly goes to Anna's house. She says to Anna that when your mom comes to meet you, then she brings you food by chewing in her mouth from which she gets food. But her mom had told her that this food has come from heaven. Anna was only 11 years old. She was being taught such things since childhood, so she had kept these things in her mind. The nurse explains to Anna that what you eat is food, but Anna did not understand this. The nurse asks her, why do you worship so much? Anna tells her that I worship 33 times a day by fasting means being hungry. I have to send someone's soul from hell to heaven, and my mom has told me all this. The nurse asks her, whose soul do you want to send to heaven? Now Anna tells her. Here we know that Anna's brother had a wrong relationship with him. He also married Anna, but after some time of marriage, his brother died. When Anna told her mom and dad about her relationship after her brother's death, they told Anna that you will have to worship 33 times a day but being hungry, by which your brother's soul will come from hell to heaven, because they felt that his son died because of Anna. The nurse understood that the whole plan is of Anna's mom and dad. They deliberately want to kill Anna, so that Anna does not tell anyone the truth about her brother and parents. Now the nurse could not tell all this to committee, and she just tells that Anna gets food and her mom gives her food secretly. But there was also a nun with the nurse says that she does not know this because I have not seen anything like this. The committee now calls Anna and she is asked, do you eat food? Anna tells everyone here that I eat food, but for me food comes from heaven. Now some people believe that Anna is eating food, but some people do not believe this. The nurse had to do something soon because Anna's condition was deteriorating. It was also difficult for her to breathe. That's why the nurse makes a plan with Will. Her plan was that she would take Anna with her while kidnapping her. Because she knew that Anna's family is not good at all and they don't need Anna at all. The nurse tells all the villagers that she is holding a veneration for Anna, in which all the villagers will come and Anna will not, because she is sick. When all the villagers were busy in the veneration, the nurse goes to Anna. She understood that Anna will not understand like this, she will have to explain it in her mom's language. The nurse tells her, look, now you are going to die, but God may give you a new life. Such a life in which nothing wrong happened with you. Anna also said yes to the nurse. She says, yes, if I get a new life, I will live that new life happily. The nurse now takes her to the well and says that now you close your eyes, you are going to die slowly. Then after a while she tells Anna to open her eyes. Now she was not calling Anna, in fact, she had also given her a new name. When Anna opens her eyes, the nurse says to her, are you hungry? She says yes. I want to eat food. The nurse feeds her food and leaves her here. She went and set her house on fire. Then in the next scene, we are shown that the nurse comes in front of the committee and tells them that Anna is dead. She had already written in her diary that at this time she fell ill and at this time she died, but no one believed her, because no one had found Anna's dead body. But still the people of the committee do not say anything to the nurse and let her go. After which the nun comes to the nurse and says that when a veneration was taking place in the village, I was not feeling good, and when I come back I saw a man was taking Anna with him on a horse-drawn carriage. The nurse now tells everything to Nun and she asks her, is she in a better place now? The nurse says yes, now she is safe and is in a good place. After that, the nurse also left the village. The nurse had to be paid for all this work, but the committee had not given her any money, because they had not yet found out did Anna eat food or not? Or did she would get food from God? In fact, This is the time shown in the story, when people had a lot of faith in such things. As it is said that if the black cat passes in front of you, then it will not be good with you. Like number 13, people did not like number 13, so don't believe these things, believe in yourself. What are you doing? And what can you do? Because at that time, people believed in these things. The nurse has brought Anna to the city. Will was also with him. He had come to Sydney with his new identity. The nurse did not tell everyone. What did Anna's parents and her brother do with her? In fact, the nurse only had to save Anna's life. She had made her daughter and married Will. They were living happily. And now my second companion will explain the Wonder movie. In the start, a girl is shown thinking that what does a person value more? Love or affection? After this, we see the manager of a football team in the school named Bam. She likes a boy named O. She goes to O and tells him, why don't we go to eat ice cream today? But he doesn't listen to her. And he says that I don't want to go because I have an important meeting with my mom today. After hearing this, Bam gets worried and a coach also comes here. This is the coach of their football team who has now brought a new manager here. The name of this new manager is Nanno. This new manager is cute to look at. She talks very well and seems happy too, because of which everyone likes her much, and Bam doesn't like this. She gets jealous seeing him. Then later we see that all of them now want to give a party to the new manager. They want to give him a welcome party and are happy because of this. The new manager Nanno also agrees. And the same boy O who was saying before that I have to go to talk to my mom. Now he was absolutely ready to come to the party, and now Bam doesn't like this. Gradually, his hatred for Nanno is increasing now because she was an old manager. And she makes him do a lot of work from the new manager. She keeps sitting and makes her do all the work, and the poor girl also keeps working. And when O sees this, he comes and tells that girl Nanno that I will help you. And also tells Bam that you are making her do all the work. You are not doing any work. Now here Bam gets even angrier, and there was hatred for Nanno in his heart. And then when she goes to the bathroom, she writes her wish on the wall of the bathroom. That I wish there could smell from her face means Nanno's face. Later, Nanno comes to meet Bam. And she sees how Nanno has written on the wall that the smell came from her face. Now although Nanno saw this, she should have been worried, but she is not worried, in fact, starts smiling. And her smile was very scary to see. Then at night, Bam is writing on her diary that how she met a new girl today. Now she doesn't like that girl at all, and it was very good that the girl saw what I had written for her on the wall. The next day, when Bam passes by Nanno, she starts smelling a lot. She was not understanding where this smell was coming from. She thinks that maybe the smell is coming from the shirt. Then later O comes here, and suddenly Bam behaves as if she is helping Nanno. She starts working with her. That is, she shows that she is good girl, and after it, those shirts are also washed. And then Bam finds out that in fact the smell is coming from Nanno because the shirts are washed. The rest of the boys also thought that this smell must be coming from Bam. But later they find out that this smell is coming from Nanno's face. And Nanno was not understanding why so much smell was coming from her face. Bam also understood that whatever she writes on the wall becomes true. So she goes back to the wall and writes there that O started liking me. Then in the next scene, we see that she is standing next to the coach. That's when a ball comes to both of them, and O does not let that ball hit Bam. Bam thinks that maybe his writing is going to be true. But then O says that I came forward to save the coach, not to save you. Now Bam says that means what I wrote was not true. Then another boy comes here, who comes and says to Bam that you think O will like you or will protect you. It is better to protect a dog than to protect you. Bam does not like this at all and becomes furious. And the next time she goes to the bathroom, she angrily writes about Tank on the wall. That Tank is a dog. Then later when all the students of the school are playing football, then Tank starts behaving like a dog. He was barking at everyone and became like a dog. That's why he is suddenly taken to the ambulance because his condition was worst. Here Bam understood that if she writes something in hatred of someone on the wall, it will be true. And if she writes something in love with someone, it will not be true. Now to prove this, she takes a test of this. When Nanno is sitting in front of her, she writes on the table that Nanno is a dog. She thinks that Nanno will start acting like a dog, but nothing like that happens. That means if she wants Nanno to do everything like a dog, then she will have to write on the same wall of the bathroom. That magic is in the same wall. That's why she goes to the bathroom and is about to write on the wall. That's when she hears voices from outside. She sees that some girls are bullying a girl. They are bothering her a lot and that girl is upset. Now Bam wanted to help her. That's why she comes out of the bathroom and then tells the girl that sometimes if we write something on the wall in hatred of someone or to hurt someone, it becomes true. That girl does not believe her and she leaves from there. Then later we see that Nanno, from which the smell was coming, the smell stops coming from it. And the same boy who was behaving like a dog, Tank, also gets completely cured. Bam is surprised to see this and she immediately runs to the bathroom. She goes there and sees that the maid was cleaning the bathroom and she erased her written words from the wall. She says to her that why did you erase this, let it be written here, but she says that my job and I will definitely do it. And if you bother me, I will go to your complaint and complain to the principal. Now because Bam has misbehaved with her, that's why that maid gets angry. And she goes to the coach and tells him about how she misbehaved with her and did not even let her do the cleaning work. Hearing this, the coach also gets angry and calls Bam and says that apologize to him. Bam says that I will not apologize to him. She goes from here and goes straight to the bathroom and writes something like this. That after a while she herself gets upset because she sees that the maid about whom she had written, she killed herself. After this, the girl who was being bullied also comes to her and she was now believing her. Later we see that Nanno is weeping and asking Bam that why did the maid kill herself, she was a good person. After hearing Nanno's words, now Bam was also feeling bad, he realized his mistake. She wrote on the wall that the maid should kill herself by strangling herself. And now because she realized her mistake, she immediately goes to the bathroom and starts erasing her written words. After erasing them, as she comes out, she hears from some girls who were talking that the maid died. Has suddenly come back to life and is absolutely fine, as if nothing had happened to her. Later Bam looks at Nanno and sees her, who are sitting together and have become good friends. She gets jealous again and the same Nanno who was talking happily, suddenly hides her face and starts running. There were a lot of pimples on her face and it was understood that they were made only because of Bam. He must have written about her on the wall and she doesn't realize her mistakes at all. Then at midnight, Bam wakes up and sees that the maid and Nanno are sitting in front of her. And Nanno is asking her again and again that why did you write about killing the maid, why did you do this to her? She keeps asking him again and again and then Bam's eyes open. And all this was her dream, Nanno and that maid were not present in front of her. The next day, when all the students are in the class, a girl stands up while studying and jumps out of the window and ends herself. Bam is surprised to see this and immediately runs to the bathroom because she had not written anything like this. And there was another girl written about the death of that girl and she was no one else but the same girl who was being bullied and whom Bam had told about the magic of that wall. Then gradually all the students go to that bathroom and write something and the whole school's situation becomes out of control. Even the principal of the school is killed. This information had spread throughout the school and everyone was using the question wrongly. And later Bam finds out that this information is spread by the same girl whom he had told about it. Bam goes to that girl and tells her that I had told you this and you told everyone. And you know how much damage is happening and how many people are losing their lives. This time the girl says that whatever I did was good, whoever does something wrong should be punished for it. Then Bam goes to the bathroom and sees that a lot of things are written there. Everyone is coming to write something and one of them was written for O. Seeing this, she gets worried and immediately goes to O and tells him to stop playing and go home. You are not safe here yet, but O does not listen to her. She tries to convince him again and drops him at the same time. And when he falls and gets injured, but then Bam gets a pin there. Seeing him, he has a doubt on a friend of O and she tells him that you are the one who has written all that on the wall about O. But that friend does not listen to him and says that I have not written anything like this and starts saving his friend. Now Bam goes to erase all that about O. But when she goes to erase it, she sees that someone had also written that whoever tries to erase these lines will be killed. Now she comes back and she was worried that what should I do to save O. Then Nanno comes to her. She confesses her mistake in front of Nanno and tells Nanno that I thought so much bad for you. Now I am trapped myself and I have also put O's life in danger. Nanno listens to her and starts laughing loudly. And she says that whatever has happened is because of you. And if you have the courage, then go and erase everything written on the wall and confess your mistake in front of everyone. On this, Bam says that I can do all this and she runs to the bathroom. But from behind, Nanno tells everyone loudly that Bam is going to erase everything written in the bathroom. And then we see that the same students of the school who had written all that go to the bathroom behind Bam. Now Bam is in the bathroom and is trying to erase all those words, while the rest of the students are knocking on the door from outside. They are making a lot of noise. Bam gets tired of them and writes something on the wall, and after that, she opens the door. There was no one outside. She could not see anyone in the whole school except Nanno. The protagonist is worried and returns home. While walking slowly and reaching home, she sees herself in the mirror and realizes she has disappeared from the world due to a message she wrote on the wall that caused everyone to disappear. The message included herself as well. Her negative thoughts caused harm to herself as well as others. The end was so bad that she can't even make her mistakes right.